It's switching between offline and other things very rapidly without having a mixer channel. You may consider... Oh, I gotta fix the settings. Hold on. Tools. Scene collection, profile. I can't click on that. Edit. Shit. Settings. Switching rapidly between offline and thinking. Why isn't it working? Oh, do I press play? Streaming mode?
Like, hi, good morning, I'm not for real, want to nude? Like, I'd love a nude.
That's cute.
This one takes the best nudes.
Oh yay, it's working!
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I finally got it to work. I don't want this in the Hearthstone category, god damn it. How do I edit? Edit. Broadcast options. Mortician's Tale is not a category yet. Ah, there it is. Simulation, point and click, visual novel. Okay. I think I finally have it figured out. Yes. And then I can open this so my chat is up. I got a program that will send it to Facebook Live, Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time. Wow. So I'm really fancy now.
That's awesome.
And the chat aggregates all the chats. So anytime that anybody sends a message in any of those things, it pops up on my chat message. So everybody sees it. Yeah, I think I know what I'm doing now. I think I know what I'm fucking doing. My computer is, like, really chugging, though. Oh well. I think it'll be okay. It's not hot. Okay. I'm gonna start playing. Start new game. September 14th, 10:15 a.m. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to you and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck, Matthew J., Funeral Director, Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director from Amy Rose. Hello everyone, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte, or Charlie as she told me she likes to be called. Hold on, I just clicked away. Blech. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughter's funeral home. Please take the time to make Charlie feel at home within our little family. We'll have a nice catered lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better as well. From Amy Rose, instructions. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office/preparation room, you'll find your cremation cremulator station. What does that mean? What is cremulator? Because it's separate from the cremation station. Embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading your email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. From Jen Love to Charlie. Good luck, you beautiful and smart babe, you! I guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess it's just not something I really think that much about. I should look into this, learn more about your world and industry because, as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being a professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London, and not London, Ontario, serial killer capital of Canada, to work in a museum. Like, take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a funerals monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift /I love you /am super proud of you gift. Love you, love you, love you, Jen L. This one is from Amy Rose. Today's tasks. Reply with an auto response. Sure thing, I'll get right to it. Wait, I didn't read it! Okay, I gotta read it. Hello, Charlie. Hope you settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said that you were really friendly and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. RE special request for my mother's funeral. Dear Mia, of course we will happily oblige your request for no embalming and for a closed casket. I'll ensure our funeral director receives your request. Dear Amy, we're happy to be with Rose and Daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not embalm my mother, that would be greatly appreciated, and we will proceed with a closed casket for the service. I just know she wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative impact on the environment, and since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and live healthily, it would be a shame to have her final moments to be countered the way that she lived. Thank you for anything you can do to help us in this matter. And I automatically replied, sure thing, I'll get right to it. And I'm going to read Funerals Monthly. Thanks for subscribing. Each month, my friend signed me up for this. Each month we will bring you a new newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are, because this is definitely one of our most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that. But here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally, following the guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. 1. Don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but this is a time and a place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do it so inside the funeral home. 2. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. 3. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways, just remember to be respectful with the grieving family and friends. 4. Happily reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments of positive experiences with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. 5. Give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple, I'm thinking of you, can go a long way. 6. Dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving family. They skipped 7. 8. Give a gift or sign the registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can even just be cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Be kind and helpful. Okay, now I'm ready to close my email. Do I walk around or do I click? Let's see, what's this? Oh, that's Mrs. Garcia. This is the prep room where you will prepare bodies for burials and viewings. Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you are just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag it over the body to clean it. This kind of would have been easier with a mouse, maybe. Oh, do I click? Yeah. Gotta clean the body, gotta clean the body, gotta clean the body, gotta clean the body. They made it very, proper. They have a breast covering thing. That's it, you're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased body, but it's also important to pay your respects to their loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. Oh, I have different clothes on now. I'm not wearing my lab coat. I think I was wearing a lab coat. I thought I was wearing white. I've got knee-high boots. The graphics are kind of shitty, but I'm pretty excited about this game anyway.
That looks cute.
It is kind of cute, and I don't know, I'm really picky about, like, graphics with games. Like, if I don't like the art, I won't play the game. But, this seems like it's gonna be worth it, regardless. So, let's see, what am I... There's food. There's people over here. I gotta sign the gift, the registry thing. Come over here. She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess? That's... yeah, I guess. We usually don't small talk a lot at these things. At least that's what I was always taught. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees that you won't be buried alive. Stop it. Don't make me laugh right now. Then I'll go over and click on the casket. I just kind of bow to it, like, you know, crane my head. Nobody seemed to want to talk to me directly, and they said to sign the guest book, but there were people in the way, so I guess I'm not doing that. October 11th, 10:09 a.m. Oh, I have more emails. I'm washing the table. I gotta go look at my emails. Take your gloves off, please. Jennifer Valentine. I am so frustrated right now. Okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing the tight lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associated it with fainting or hysteria, sigh, it's actually been associated with visceroptosis, which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but can also be caused by being pregnant, so... TLDR, corsets probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. And I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that implies that I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kinds of things I specifically research, and yet I'm treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. From Jennifer Valentine to Charlie. Can I rant for a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, cough, male colleagues, cough, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though dress codes are such sexist BS anyways. And, like, I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in faux concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a bit, when I've cooled off in a bit. From Amy Rose, next job. Okay. Hi Charlie, here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job on the first one. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval, an elderly man, died of old age. Nothing fancy, just a standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter Lizzie Duval if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Best, Amy Rose. P.S. Charlie dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew, he knows. From Mia Garcia to Amy Rose. Hi Amy, please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together, it was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together, it meant a lot. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in their own way. Or together in that way, and I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. And then Amy Rose says, just passing this message along, thank you for the hard work, Charlie. From Matthew Jeffrey. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients on their last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you about the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed. In a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff, messed me and my friends up real good. But so, the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had to drive at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, Well, we're in the procession going to the cemetery. Somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know not to get in the way of a procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they've gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed and then we all started giggling because, go figure. Life is messed up sometimes, There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remembered that story and wanted to tell you, because we work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision came totally later and is nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? I'll see you in a bit, Charlie. From Funerals Monthly. What to wear when you're attending a funeral from a different culture. We all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes, at least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes some people do need a little bit of a pick-me-up during such hard times. Who are we to judge? And a big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal black attire rule, and it works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire, where people would wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though, and if you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it's important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could mean accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and in Chinese cultures, white is a typical color for funerals. For Islam, though, it is less about the color you are wearing and more about how modestly you are dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals, color of the clothing isn't as important as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the #1 rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you are attending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you, so be sure to do whatever you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible, even if that means not wearing what you're used to wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how you can appropriately show your respects. So, I have to reply to that email. Gotta reply. Hello, I'll get right on it. So I got my scrubs on. Gonna go over to the embalming station. Mr. Duval is on the table. Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Click the sponge and drag it over the body to clean it. Gotta click and drag. Oh, he's got a little splotch by his ear. I really like this game so far, it's really nice. Click on the razor and drag it over the body to shave it. Shave his body. Shave his mustache. Shave his chest and his stomach. Because your skin like slurps up after you die, and in order to break rigor mortis, you'll have to massage the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. I don't know what they want me to do. Click and drag over the body to massage it. What do you want me to do, dude? Oh, there we go. There we go. Up. There we go. Up. The eyeballs deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap into each eye socket to give it shape. Oh, nope, that's cotton balls. Eye caps. To keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Click and drag the glue onto each eye to shut it. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag a cotton ball into the mouth to give it shape. To keep the mouth from opening, you'll need to suture it shut. Click and drag the needle and thread over the jaw to close it. Click and drag the lotion over the body to moisturize it. This prevents the skin from drying out. Slurp. Embalming involves removing blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. Click and drag the scalpel over the neck to make an incision. This is super interesting. I've always wondered how embalming works. You're going to need a tube for draining the blood. Click on the tube and drag it to the neck incision. Click on the cannula and drag it onto the carotid artery. This is how you'll get the preserving chemicals into the bloodstream. Trocar. Cannula. Now you'll need to connect the embalming machine to the cannula. Grab some additional tubing. I'm gonna avoid fucking saying that word, whatever that word is. And drag it to the thingy. Click the button on the embalming machine to turn it on. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you'll have to massage them through the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. Wow. This is super interesting. I'll massage this way. I'll massage this way. I'll massage down the arm. I'll massage across. Hi, Amy. You're Amy, right? I can't remember if Tonks is Amy or Lana. No offense. I'm sorry. This game is super interesting. I'm having a really fun time so far. It's kind of, like, obviously it's morbid, but, like, it's treated really positively. And it's very cool. Okay, and now I gotta finish massaging through the chemicals through the body. Yeah, I'm playing the Mortician game. It's really interesting. I highly you should pick up the bundle. Oh shit! Oh, hi Blake, I'm sorry. I thought you were Amy. No, it's not remembering names. It's their username is Tonks, and I was very sure.
Well, like usernames and stuff.
I was very sure that was Amy, but it's my friend Blake. They're really cool. No, they use a different Facebook name. They're not out to everybody, so they use a different name. Anyway, hi Blake. I'm super glad that you're watching. I am becoming obsessed with streaming because I'm like really lonely in quarantine. Not that I don't have like great partners and friends and stuff like that, but like I miss like talking, like just like chatting to people at the library and stuff. And so I've become obsessed with streaming, and that's my new career goal. It's much harder to get noticed on Twitch than on Chatterbait. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you'll have to massage them through the body. Okay. Yep, I'm doing that part. This is an extensive process, apparently, because I'm doing a lot of massaging. Great, now let's sew up that incision. Click and drag the needle and the thread over the incision to close it. Boop, boop, oh. I really like streaming. Like I said, it's a little bit disappointing when nobody pays attention, because, like, that's the whole point, is, like, I'm not trying to, like, be famous or make money off of what I'm doing. I just want to, like, connect with people and, like, have them be interested in what I'm doing. You know, like, it's just, like, about the social aspect to me. So I'm really enjoying doing it, but it's a little bit disheartening when, like, I finish a stream and I realize that nobody watched it. You should stream your art, Blake. Almost done. You'll need to drain the organs of any remaining fluids. Click on the trocar, then click and hold on the abdomen until all the liquid has been drained. No, you're too scared to stream your art? Okay, gotta drain all the liquid. Okay, I did that X. Drain the organs of any remaining fluids. Okay, that's fair. I support being confident in what you're doing. And you're done. Mike will take care of Mr. Duval's makeup, as well as dressing and putting him in his casket. It's time to attend the funeral. I didn't know that, like, the same person that embalms people attends the funeral.
Well, I think it's a thing of respect.
Yeah, but, like,
work on the body, go and attend the funeral as well.
I suppose I just figured that the person who actually embalms the body is like some shitty intern, and that like the funeral director is like a different person that runs the funeral. You know?
The funeral director is like, I think they have to be trained in everything.
That makes sense.
Like a manager does, you know?
Yeah, managers are shitty though.
Yes, but they have on the principle of the fact that they have to be trained in every position.
Yeah, they're supposed to know what they're doing anyway. Got a black dress and black boots. So, this is an open casket funeral. Shall I go over to the... Oh, it's not letting me sign the guest book. I'm gonna go over here. Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, 1 minute you're laughing, having fun, and then the next, poof, that person is gone. Just, like, gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about it for too long, like staring at the sun. I start to feel all fuzzy when I think about it. So weird how our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember. I haven't gone to many traditional funerals. So mostly white, but like definitely not red, no matter what. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I thought the embalmer was like a technical position, you know. Blake agrees. Blake thinks that that they're surprised that the embalmer goes to the funeral too. I guess I've never been to a traditional funeral. Maybe no, I went with my friend Evan once to like their grandmother's funeral or something. But I don't think we stayed for the whole thing. And, like, I was there to support Evan, and I wasn't really, like, paying attention because, like, Evan was having a hard time, you know? So, like, I don't really know anything about funerals. And then my grandparents, who died, like, relatively recently, like, I had all 4 of my grandparents until I was 25. But they were cremated, and then their urns were buried. And it wasn't like a formal funeral, we just did it like out on the hill, you know, like where the cemetery is, like there was no like church part or anything like that. But no, yeah, exactly, I just think that that's really interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to my mom's funeral. I don't think the embalmer would have been like, hi, well, she wasn't involved, she was cremated, you know, she's like, hi, I'm the person who ran the cremation thing, you know, like,
yeah.
I don't think they would come up and say that, but then, you know, they probably would say it.
Well, like, I remember with my grandma's funeral, people representing someone were there, and they were, like, there to, like, run the funeral, and they, like, kind of got it started, and, like, were kind of like, sorry, I was looking at a notification. They were, like, I'm not sure if they were from the church or from the funeral home or somewhere. I don't think that they were religious. I think they might have been the family that owns the cemetery, actually, because it's like a little family cemetery on the hill next to the middle school. So, like, it was just, like, there were some people that we didn't know, and they were kind of, like, taking a leadership position. But I don't really remember who they were, or I don't think I knew who they were, you know. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. And there's a little kid over here on his phone, humming to himself. That's it. That's all he's doing. He's humming to himself. That's very cute. And then I go over and bow my head to Mr. Duval. I can't sign the guest book. They told me to sign the guest book, but I can't sign the guest book. December 2nd, 10:22 a.m. I gotta read an email. Gotta read some emails. Walk over here. Come on. Oh, I have tattoos. That's fucking rad. I have tattoos.
Nice.
From Amy Rose to Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. From Lizzie Duval to Amy Rose. Hi, Amy. Thank you for the wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad to have seen him off in such a kind way. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Jen Love, which is my friend, my best friend, who works at a museum in London.
Your best friend or your girlfriend?
My girlfriend! You're right, my girlfriend! Mm-hmm. But she lives in London, so it's a long distance relationship.
Too far away. Well, the girlfriend's achieving their dreams.
Girlfriends. Hi, kitty cat.
Hi.
He's gotta decide. He's gotta decide. Our cat has to decide what he's doing for half an hour before he fucking does anything. It's kind of cute, but it just proves that he's really stupid. Hi, you're a dumbass. I love you. Thoughtful. He's thinking really hard. The smoke is coming out of his ears. Okay.
Oh, he didn't like that.
Oh,
he didn't like that you hugged him like that.
Also, I think he's scared of Rocky because Rocky, like, woke
Rocky
up at the
right
same
there.
time.
No,
Yeah.
he meowed and then Rocky was like, huh?
Oh.
Yeah. No, he was meowing at you hugging him.
He didn't like to be hugged like a football.
Squeezed it too hard.
Squeeze that fat cat. Oh no.
Why?
That round boy.
That rotund dump
Rotund
truck ass
motherfucker.
boy. I love the phrase dump truck ass.
Thick.
Thick H-I-Q-U-E.
What's up?
Nothing, I came to see my cat. I thought I might sit in here with him, but I think he's going to leave.
Yeah, I don't
Rocky.
think he's set on hanging out here.
Just hang out with you guys then.
Hi, boy. You're a cute
Fly
boy.
behind you, don't mind
Yeah,
me.
no, that's fine. Just so you know, I'm streaming.
Okay.
You're totally
I'm gonna
welcome
sit
to hang
over
out,
by
though.
Shiloh.
Okay, do you need help?
Nope.
Okay. I believe in you.
My pants got caught in this stupid spike. Can you just hold that?
Yeah,
down?
yeah.
Like, no, you're clipping the spike further up my pants.
What are you trying to do?
What
Oh,
are you
this.
doing? What?
The wire is sticking out of the top.
Oh, of my hand.
Of the hamper, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Rocky. Kind of.
Oh, he says, excuse me.
Get
Kida, I love you. Go hang out with your parent, Kida. Go hang out with your parent.
Hi.
Oh, you're fluffy, you're fuzzy, you got fur all over the place. This is my table, he says. I'm gonna put my smell on it. I'm gonna make sure it smells like me.
Tradition.
Yeah.
Cut.
Oh,
Kira?
he says, purr purr, go hang out with your parent. Go hang out. I love you, Kida.
Anything?
He does not understand anything that happens to him. He is confused perpetually. Meow meow. Meow 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 meow.
Kira! Oh, here.
He's gotta think. Meet cutes for death positive cuties. Charlie, I was doing some reading. I know you hate when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's this dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anybody new since the breakup of 2014 that we will never speak of again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask you about your day, so maybe meeting somebody in the industry isn't the worst idea. Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy gothy aesthetics are super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom rant over. I'm gonna try it out because it turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find teratomas? Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who is as much of a weirdo as I am.
Oh, well, they aren't just physical.
I know. I'm sorry. They're not girlfriends. Miss you. Let's just grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. P.S. If you sign up for Dead Meat, isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Tinder rules apply. You have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works just yet, though. Matthew Jeffrey says, paycheck coming late. Sorry. From Amy Rose to Matthew Jeffrey. This is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income and I don't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I cut you a check for next week instead? If you need the money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing and I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this. I assure you it won't happen again. I don't like the look of this. Not one bit. I know you've only been with us a few months, but maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. A small mom-and-pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent this to you. Also, I'm starving, so I'm gonna grab some fast food before taking the hearse through the car wash, 2 birds, 1 stone, and swinging back to the home. Do you want anything? A beef and cheddar? I'm gonna take the hearse through the drive-thru, of course. It freaks people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. LGBTQ funerals. Respect. What? Oh, he came over! If you've been a long-time subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard about the misgendering that transgender people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families and have had their hair cut, are buried under the wrong names, and subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care. And this absolutely extends to pronouns and respecting the deceased wishes as per their lived experiences. Wow! This game talks about trans people. The CDC's Funeral Director Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers the fraught directive, enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. If sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body, or other sources, enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation obviously enters a world of issues since... Oh, bye, Blake! See you later. Blake is getting going.
Bye-bye.
What day is today? Today's Sunday?
Today's Sundays.
I was just curious. I was like, oh, Blake works. And then I was like, wait.
Some people work on Sundays.
I don't think they work on Saturdays. I think they work on Saturdays. Yeah, I was just thinking, because I was like, for some reason I thought it was like really early in the morning still. I was like, oh yeah, they gotta go to work. It's like 8:30. It's not 8:30, it's 12:30. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation obviously enters into a world of issues since bodies can be so different, and because of ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that the death certificate must reflect the deceased's gender identity as they lived it. So, a step in the right direction. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death that people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering in death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survive the deceased. Bye, boy. See you later. So what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office. In America especially, some marriages may not be recognized as legal depending on the laws around same-sex marriage. But this doesn't mean you're not dealing with two people who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, your duty is also to ensure the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burial. If a funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. Alright, I'm gonna tell Amy that I'm on it. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna... Cremate her. They put him in a coffin?
Most cremations are in a cardboard box that burn up, like, really quickly.
Interesting.
It burns up and there's not a lot of
residue.
The box ash in the ashes because it's so hot that it burns up like regular flammable stuff really quickly.
That's really interesting.
Learn that from Ask a Mortician. Thanks, Caitlin!
Ask a Mortician is the best.
Yeah.
That's what made me want to play this game. Because I saw it and I was like, oh, it's just like Ask a Mortician! Before we cremate Mrs. Hall, we'll need to prepare her body. Mrs. Hall's family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process as not to damage them. Let's start by removing Mrs. Hall's necklace. Click and drag the necklace.
Hey.
Did he bite?
He bite me!
Oh, rude.
Lie down and fuck off.
He's gotta think about it.
I'm thinking about it.
No.
Fuck away.
Oh. He just wants to bite people. Just let him bite people. It's his favorite thing to do.
Okay, fine. You be the people.
You can bite me. He bites me a lot. So we'll place the necklace in with Mrs. Hall's remains later. We need to be able to identify Mrs. Hall's remains after she's been cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag and place it in the coffin. Great, Mrs. Hall is all set to be cremated now. Goes into the machine. Yeah, do the thing. And then we have an urn. This is the cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Let's start by placing the urn in the cremulator. Click on the urn and place it under the nozzle. Click and drag the bone fragments and drop them in the top of the cremulator. Oop, oop, beep, beep, oop, oop. A rib. Femur. Do I put in the little tag? Now that all the bones have been processed, click and drag the urn back onto the counter. Okay. Oh, it wants it over here. Make sure to put Mrs. Hall's necklace back in the urn. Click on the necklace and drag it into the urn. Don't forget the tag. Click on the round identification tag and drag it into the urn. Nope. Last step. Click on the urn's lid and drag it to the top of the urn. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. Now I gotta go to the funeral. Got people over here. This is nice in a weird way. She'd like that we were all here talking. She always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. Glad she was cremated and not in like an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up, not once. What the fuck? That's weird as shit. Interesting. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. February 14th, 10:14 a.m. The cat is yelling somewhere.
He said something.
News about the future of Rose and Daughter's funeral home. Hi all, it is with a very heavy heart that I write to let you all know that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources I googled told me that would be the best and easiest way to break the ice. Be direct but remorseful, Google said. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways. And you've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm finding less and less like I have the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations than we are that can take on more business and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So, we've been bought, or I sold. Either way, soon Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc., a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes. Though honestly, I'm trying hard not to just see it as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything that I can do on this point either. I've signed the papers. At least my father's legacy is still intact, somewhat. They have a good reputation, and I have agreed to keep you all on. That was one of my stipulations. I would sell as long as you all weren't without a job. Sorry I didn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but I admittedly didn't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me. Please understand. From Margarita Hall to Amy Rose. Hi, Amy. I am so eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our requests for my sister's funeral. It was a beautiful service, and she would have been happy with it. That's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Sincerely, Margarita. Amy Rose to Charlie. Charlie, I thought you'd like to see this thank you note. Commission, pacemaker? From Mariana Rees. Hi Amy, you asked if there were any special instructions we wanted to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that would need to be removed. Thanks, Mariana. Hi Charlie, please see the note about the pacemaker. They can be tricky. Sounds good, I'll take care of it. Wait, I gotta read the rest of the emails. I don't know what to do. From Ryan Garcia to Amy Rose. Hi Amy, I know this email might be a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having troubles I should reach out and you would know somebody I could talk to about all of this. I don't know what to do now. I know my grandmother had lived a full, good life and was very happy and that she's not in any pain now, but I still feel empty, Amy. I've never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. She's dealing with enough with work and the will and trying to just be the best mom she can. I just need somebody to tell me that it'll be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being an inconvenience. Amy Rose to Charlie. Which cat is it? Kita, why are you being so bad? I believe in you.
Good.
Yeah, feel free to move stuff around.
I was more just seeing a step back. That makes it walk. You know. Hey.
What a jerk.
Hi. Get out. Come on.
He's like, but parent! I'm busy!
Come on.
But parent!
Fix your food. You can't take it. Come on.
Foob! Here comes the foob! He's like, no, I want to scratch things.
Huh?
I got an email. Let's see what the email is.
Wow.
My Amazon order shipped.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Now everybody on Twitch knows you're a class figure.
That was so mean! Oh my god! Everybody uses Amazon.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't buy from Amazon.
That's fair. That's very fair. I used to not shop at Walmart ever. But when I lived in Oswego, like for the same reason, just because I think it's a shitty corporation. But when I lived in Oswego, it was impossible not to.
Well,
you know?
the action that you did take is stealing from Walmart.
Stealing from Walmart. Good point.
Easy, fun, morally right.
Morally correct to steal from Walmart and then set it on fire.
Yeah. The first time I stole from Walmart was an accident.
Yeah.
I accidentally stole a League of Legends gift card because I was buying a couple of them for some of the Village Boys for like Christmas. I was buying like a couple $15 ones, and I didn't. I looked at my receipt. I was like, oh, I need to for one of these.
Nice.
That's fine.
And so began an illustrious career of thievery for Walmart.
From Walmart, yes.
I thought I would forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can really help him. Sometimes we get emails like this when people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult, and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Usually I would be happy to connect him, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self, and it would be good for you to start building these kind of relationships on your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. From Jen Love, a challenger approaches. Charlie, I've been playing a new game when things are getting slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? Get it? It's like Minesweeper, but way harder. Like, seriously, it's really, really difficult. And I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk job at the hotel for 3 years, but I must have gotten rusty. Anyways, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kind of looks like you. Want to start a healthy competition? High score gets to pick the restaurant we go to when one of us is in town next. And Funerals Monthly. Keep on protecting Earth with green burials. You've lived your life mindful of the environment, doing your part to reduce pollution and generally help out where you can. So why not continue doing that even in death? At least that's the thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green or natural burials. Natural cemeteries are becoming more popular and are focused on a few rules. Mainly, it's that bodies aren't allowed to be embalmed with chemicals that can damage the environment, and bodies must be buried in biodegradable shroud or casket. Not only is this better for the environment, it's also cheaper. At Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000. So better for the people, better for the environment, just maybe not so good for big business. Let's not forget, people, this is still a business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing bodies, and restore and preserve natural habitats. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report a higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after we're gone. We here at Funerals Monthly think green burials are cool. What do you think? Reply and let us know. Alright, we got this guy over here. He's got a pacemaker, I think. I think that's the guy that we're working with here. Mr. Rees came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him, as the family did not provide any for us to include. However, Mr. Rees has a pacemaker that we'll need to remove before cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries, they will explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Let's start by removing Mr. Rees' pacemaker. click and drag the scalpel over the heart to make an incision. You can see the pacemaker. Click on the forceps to click and drag the pacemaker out of the heart. Put the forceps away and then place the round identification tag in the coffin. Mr. Rees is all set to be cremated now. Now press the button. Okay, he's got a little urn. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Place the urn in the cremulator. Put the bones into the top of the cremulator. And the rib. And the femur. Oh, the femur. I said the femur. Hey, the femur. There we go. Put the urn back on the counter. Place the round identification tag in the urn. Put the urn's lid on top of the urn. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. I'm streaming A Mortician's Tale. Did you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but no, not really. He sounded like a difficult man. He was stubborn. That's just it. Stubborn. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere. Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you the time we tailgated? I always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listened to me, so that figures. I wonder if he ever liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. He never seemed like he really cared if I was there or not. Yeah, that's
sad.
Yeah.
I wonder who, like, who in relation to him that person is.
Yeah, I don't know. They never say. February 28th, 10:35 a.m. We got some emails. From Mariana Rees to Amy Rose. Hi Amy, I just wanted to thank you for the service the other month, and I apologize if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock for me, and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He wasn't supposed to die yet. It hasn't been easy. Amy Rose, I thought I'd pass this along to you. Amy Rose, forward, our son. Good day, Miss Rose. Disregard our son's will as it concerns matters of his burial. He was clearly not thinking right and didn't know what he really wanted. Proceed with an open casket funeral. As for payment, we'll bring a check. Manuel Scott. Charlie, I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront this situation, yet anyways, they're never easy. Rose and Daughters has been asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. He had a will prepared and asked for cremation, but the family has demanded a traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney or didn't have any witnesses sign his living will or his advance directive regarding these wishes, so his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do as his family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to take this on if you are uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare for a funeral we're hosting later in the afternoon. Charlie, is this suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Let me know. I'm here if you need me. He didn't want to be cremated and he wanted an open... I'm gonna say no, I'm not comfortable.
He wanted to be cremated and his family is like, no.
Yeah. No, I'm not comfortable. Wait, I didn't finish all the emails. From Jen Love. You hate mushrooms so much, I found the perfect thing for you. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker, look what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it, and I'm writing you on my phone so I don't feel like Googling it right now. Anyways, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It's made with what people call biomix, i.e., mushrooms and other microorganisms that help to decompose bodies, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. It'll be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death innovation happening. We might as well do something while we're in the ground, you know? Love you. Think about it and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewelry. But seriously, I'm probably gonna do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, am I right?
That's a really interesting thing.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck.
I might look into that because that's, I'm like, huh. I'd
Hi,
love
boy.
to do that, you know?
Yeah.
When I'm thinking of, like, you know, when I die in the future, one day, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, someday, if you
I
die.
ever die.
If you ever
If
die.
I die, I would like to do, like, a green burial.
Yeah.
Or either that or to, like, make my ashes into a big tree or plant a tree or something like that.
Yeah.
I would love to, because I believe, especially when I die, my body is nourishment for nature.
Yeah. I never really gave it that much thought. You know, like, I'm very comfortable with my own death, but I never really cared about, like, what people would do afterwards. You know, I was kind of like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, whatever, do whatever the fuck you want, whatever the fuck makes you feel good about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I never really gave it that much thought.
That's kind of how my mom was. She literally was like, so what are you guys gonna do with my body when I die? And we're like, what do you want us to do? She literally said, that's your problem.
That's your problem.
Yeah, she said, that's your problem. I was like, okay, we'll probably cremate you. And she goes, okay.
Hey, are we still doing pancakes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I want to finish this up and then I can make pancakes if you want.
I'm actually looking at recipes for banana pancakes.
Banana pancakes! They'll probably be... Is that like the vegan version? Because you can use bananas instead of eggs.
No, it's just pancakes.
Just pancakes with banana in them.
You could just put banana in the biscuit mix.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there are some other recipes.
See if there's anything interesting.
You would have to know how much banana to put in so that the pancakes don't fall apart.
Well, you could also, like, slices. Like,
Oh, like slices.
pour it on the griddle and then
Oh.
put some slices in it. And
That's
flip
smart. I assumed that the banana would be mashed up.
it. I mean, you could do that too, but you would have to measure it out.
Yeah. From Funerals Monthly. Things to avoid saying at a funeral.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was giving you a look about things to avoid saying at a funeral because I'm sure that if I went to a funeral I would say all of them. Welcome back. Now, we rarely do listicles here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. What not to say at a funeral. We know figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving friend can be extremely difficult, and since that's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Some things will be more comforting to other people. But fortunately, we can deliver a little bit more solid advice on what not to say to someone who is grieving. Whew. So here it is, Funerals Monthly's top 5 things to not say at a funeral. 1. At least they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this, and it's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it's true, don't be that jerk and just don't say it. Were they saved? No religious statements, just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views, and not only is it not only always comforting, it can also be insulting. They're with the angels now. See above's note, then rinse and repeat. 4. Let me know how I can help. This one is tricky. You want to help, but those in mourning won't always ask for help. If you want help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Cook something for them, take them to their favorite restaurant, or buy tickets to see a movie together. 5. I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus this on yourself. Empathy doesn't involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experiences, but don't assume they will. Ask first. For a quicker version of this list that can be applied in any situation, just don't say stuff for the sake of saying stuff. Just say I'm sorry if you don't know what else to say. The deceased family has asked for an open casket funeral. Let's start by cleaning the body. Clean, 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 clean. Break rigor mortis by massaging the body. This is weird. I don't like body massage for dead people. Insert eye caps into each eye socket. Blurp, blorp. Glue each eye shut. Bloop, bloop. Put cotton balls into the mouth. Sew the jaw closed. Moisturize the body. Make an incision in the neck with the scalpel. Place some tubing into the incision for draining. Attach the thingy to the tubing. Connect the embalming machine to the thingy with additional tubing. Yeah, cannula. I feel like if it was cannula, it would have one end.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, you should look it up for me, thank you. Turn on the embalming machine. Massage the body. So we gotta help the embalming fluid get all over the place by massaging the body. This would be easier with a mouse. I googled whether I should use a mouse for it, but I didn't get an answer from Google. Cannula? Thank you. Cannula. Cool. Are you making them?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. I will be ready to eat pancakes and watch cartoons soon. This is supposed to be an hour-long game, and I have been playing for an hour and 6 minutes. Use the trocar. What the fuck is that thing? This thing? This guy? Yeah. To drain the organs. Drain the organs. Drain the organs. Drain the organs. All done. Mike will take care of Mrs. Rossi's makeup as well as dressing her and putting her in her casket. Gotta go to the funeral. She's no longer suffering or in pain. Yeah, she's in a better place now. She was too good for this world. Okay, thanks, Aunt Sandy. I haven't cried since she died. Not once. How is Anna crying and not me? I'm the one who lost a parent. Quiet sobs. Kita left. Kita said goodbye. Oh, I have a cat right in front of me. Where is Maria? She couldn't be here. She didn't want to see her mother's body. I mean, I don't blame her. Anyway, I'm impressed with the food. Did you try the amaretti? It doesn't look like her at all. I'm gonna pay my respects, bow my head. March 3rd, 10:45 a.m. I got some emails. From Chad Grant to Rose and Daughters staff. We are pleased to bring on Rose and Daughters as part of Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. They will be another institution amongst hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But of course, as part of the adjustment process to the Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out the memo regarding the specifics and details of these changes, and we expect them to be followed impeccably. Glad to be leading the way for Rose and Daughters from now on. Oh, what just happened? my... Okay. From Matthew Jeffrey, what the hell? Can I just say, first off, that this is bullcrap? Ugh, I know how these corporations run. I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I don't really believe that. I'm just upset. I get that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all of your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in and now we have to deal with their BS practices. They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It feels dirty and exploitive. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam, and emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. From Leo Oenesco. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was, well, it was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Forward cremation. From Chad Grant to Charlie. Charlotte, below are the details for our next client. Ensure you follow the requested specifications exactly. After you are done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. We'll get right to it. I'll read the rest of my emails. From Jen. I can't really write much right now. I have a lot of work to do with an inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can even see this bit of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when we have it cataloged. What is my life? What is that last sentence I just typed? But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding to you is taking place near you. Figured you'd be into it. Might help with that feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Could be good to talk about some of the things you're feeling. Lots of death-positive people here. Sounds like it'll be a safe space. From Death Cafe. Come increase awareness of death with a view to helping people make the most of their finite lives. Join us, have a tea and cake, and talk with others about our thoughts, fears, and illuminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, when people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity. See everyone at the Upside Down Jar next Thursday. Funerals Monthly to subscriber. Funeral rites, even in our own culture, may be something many of us may be unfamiliar with. For many people, all they know of funeral traditions are what they've seen in media. But, and I think this goes without saying, funeral rites and traditions aren't the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with a death, but the goal is always the same, offering support, guidance, and ease to the people who are grieving. In Judaism, interment usually begins immediately after somebody has passed. Up until burial, the body is never supposed to be alone, so often families will appoint a shomer, a guardian, to remain with the body. Preparations for burial begin as soon as possible in Muslim traditions as well. Local Islamic community organizations are also often involved and help the family make arrangements for the funeral service and burial. But not all practices are strictly religiously focused. In the aughts in South Korea, the amount of graveyard space began to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that required families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families began to cremate more often, but there are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death beads. This also occurs in North America, Europe, and Japan, but remains much more common in South Korea because of the space issue in graveyards and the expenses of cremation. And not all practices are somber either. Ever hear of the turning of the bones or the Famadahana? A ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar. Famadahana has families return to an ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. That's a little horrifying. I would not want to do that, personally. Like, obviously, I try not to judge other people's shit, but, like, I don't want to do this. This practice is a celebration, remembrance, and a way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. Death can be a difficult time for many people, obviously, but that doesn't mean there isn't a beauty in the ways we choose to honor and celebrate our deceased. Gotta go over and cremate this lady. Prepare Mrs. Ionesco's body for cremation. Remove Miss Ionesco's watch and place it on the tray. Place the round identification tag in the coffin. Great, Mrs. Ionesco is all set to be cremated now. We got a little urn. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments down into ash-like sediments. Place the urn. Oh, I gotta place the urn first. Put the bones in the top. Put the bones in the top. Put the bones in the top. That one looks like a banana. Place the urn back on the counter. Put her watch in the urn. Put the tag in the urn. Put the lid on the urn. All done. Matthew will take Miss Ionesco's urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. There are lots of people at this funeral. Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. She was always so careful, wore her helmet, signaled, used the bike lanes. Asshole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't want to ask Leah. This has been hard enough on them without asking about all the legal ramifications of all this. Yeah, after all this, we should see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. I have to go through all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No, thanks, but no, I don't know. It's so intimate. Feels like I should do it myself. She would kill me if others saw the things we have. Yeah, she was kind of a closed book. Except to you. Yeah, she was special. So glad it was a cremation. I would have lost it seeing her body. Go and bow to the urn. Pay my respects. Go back to my... March 24th, 10:30 a.m. I got emails. From Chad Grant to Rose and Daughter's staff, Rules and Code of Conduct. As stated in the previous email, here are the new rules and code of conduct I expect you to follow from now on while on any premises belonging to Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. First and foremost, there is a required uniform and a strict dress code from now on. Second most importantly to this is that no tattoos are to be visible. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell. I always encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase the higher quality package. We find that encouraging loved ones to think of the comfort and style of the deceased as an experience with no price limit on it. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich and appetizer food package. Our partner Catering Concepts provides high-quality food that will be delivered weekly from their factory and can easily be defrosted in the morning of the funeral. I expect all of the above changes to be instituted effective immediately to ensure a smooth transition into the high-quality services Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. is known for.
Sounds corporate and cold.
I gotta cover up my tattoos! All the time! Not just when I go to funerals, but all the time. Yeah. Fucked up. From Matthew Jeffrey. Charlie, I need a drink. Beer after work? P.S. Also, I really want mozzarella sticks. I can be both hungry and angry. And no, I will not say hangry. Ever. Hello, Charlotte. I have reviewed your request on behalf of a potential family inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you of this in the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals as they are not cost-effective. All employees and subsidiaries of Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers, though, so do your hardest to convince the families requesting green burials to instead choose a traditional burial package complete with embalming, caskets, and vaults instead. I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customers, Charlotte.
And cold.
Worst. Latest contract acquisition. Charlotte, I am proud to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. Although Hillside Heritage Enterprises is being paid a decent wage from the city for these services, cremation is preferred here as it is the more cost-efficient of the two options. The first unclaimed body we will be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed for this cadaver aside from cremation. Dr. Zayas? I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs, like a human being, Charlie, a human being. We as a species have seen the beginning of our end. From Jen. Funerals monthly. Home funerals. Why do it? The appeal of a home funeral is apparent for many, especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at a home... Wait, can I click on that? Oh. It shows the website. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass off their loved ones to a funeral home. Most families aren't given the option and assume this is mandatory. Funeral homes are almost always prepare the deceased using embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't this process counterintuitive to the grieving process? Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend a longer period of time with their loved one's body, which can help them mourn or give opportunities to family members and friends to see the deceased one last time before they are taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased's body at home might sound gross, but it's important to understand that decomposition takes a long time, and you can further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and to see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, but they are economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, flowers, cards, and many other hidden costs and fees, can cost upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. When you're able to take care of your loved one yourself, to wash and dress them, and to organize their viewing from home, the only cost remaining is entirely in the cremation or burial itself. However, it's important to understand that different rules apply given on what state you live in. In all states, it is legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require a funeral director's involvement, from signing the death certificate to overseeing burial or cremation. If this is a route you decide to go for yourself or your loved ones, make sure you follow everything by the book. But just know that this may be an option available to you and your loved ones if you so choose. I think I am done with this game for now.
Is there a way to, like, save and stop?
I can't really save, but I'm just gonna leave the window open. Yeah.
You just stop screaming?
Yeah. So bye. It's time for pancakes almost. It's almost time for pancakes and Pokemon. The Sunday morning, even though it's 1:15 tradition. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Stop straight.